ChatGPT Plus is free for college students through May. Here's the thing. You've got a lot to do between now and then. Studying for finals, writing papers, trying to keep your life on track. And ChatGPT can help with all of it. It can quiz you for your econ exam, make a study guide from your French notes, plan out your meals and study breaks. It can get really specific on how you like to learn. It can even help you come up with ways to stop procrastinating. So from now until summer break, take advantage of all the ways ChatGPT can make your life easier. Restrictions apply.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
Good morrow, everyone. This is The Other Side of Midnight on 77 WABC. I'm Frank Morano. Well, I don't know how it's possible that this story about the drones isn't the biggest story in the country right now. And yet I'm walking around and people are acting like it's not that big of a deal. I watched a lot of that testimony before Congress yesterday, and I'm going to play you some of the audio in just a minute of people, including senior FBI officials, saying they have no idea what these drones are. Now, either someone's lying or there's something really concerning here, especially if you look at what Governor Phil Murphy had to say on this subject yesterday. So who better to turn to than Dr. Sky Steve Cates? We're going to do that in just a minute. And if you have questions about these drones or anything else involving looking up in the sky or space travel, you can go ahead and give us a call. He will answer your calls at 646-720-0635. That's 646-720-0635. Meanwhile, also in New Jersey, we're celebrating a remarkable story of resilience, service, and the indomitable human spirit. Vito Perillo, the 100-year-old mayor of Tinton Falls, New Jersey, has announced he will not seek re-election next year, marking the end of an extraordinary chapter in public service. Perillo, who became the oldest mayor in the United States, will retire at the age of 101 after 2 terms as mayor. Born in 1924, just weeks before Calvin Coolidge was elected president, Perillo is a living bridge to history. A World War II veteran and retired civil engineer, he could have easily spent his golden years relaxing. Instead, at 93, he took on a new challenge, running for mayor. Against the odds, he defeated an incumbent in 2017 and proved that age is just a number. Perillo's re-election at age 97 in a competitive 4-way race further showcased his commitment to his community. He has led Tinton Falls with wisdom, grace, and a lifetime of experience embodying the kind of public service we can all admire. Beyond his impressive electoral wins, Perillo's story serves as an inspiration for seniors everywhere. In an era when many are tempted to slow down, he shows us that staying active and engaged can lead to incredible achievements, whether it's through public service, volunteering, or pursuing personal passions. Perillo is a testament to the power of purpose and perseverance. While he prepares to step down, his legacy will endure, not just in Tinton Falls, but as a shining example to anyone wondering if they're too old to make a difference. Thank you, Mayor Perillo, for reminding us all that it's never too late to serve, inspire, and lead. What a guy.
Beam me up!
To be continued.
This episode is brought to you by Principles. Ray Dalio, legendary investor and New York Times best-selling author, wants to pass along his understanding of how countries go broke, because he believes the U.S. budget and debt situation needs to be addressed. To give you that knowledge, he has put the draft of his book, How Countries Go Broke, The Big Cycle, online for free. It's available now at economicprinciples.org.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
Good morrow, everyone. This is The Other Side of Midnight on 77 WABC. I'm Frank Morano. The news is in. Former Congressman Anthony Weiner has filed paperwork to run for a New York City Council seat in Lower Manhattan. It's a headline that practically writes itself. After all, this is a man whose political career imploded spectacularly, not once but twice, due to personal scandals. A sexting scandal forced him out of Congress in 2011, and another far worse revelation during his 2013 mayoral bid led to criminal charges and prison time. So, What are we to make of this potential political comeback? Many will dismiss it outright, and who could blame them? Weiner's past behavior was appalling, and it raises serious questions about trust and judgment. But here's where I might surprise you. I actually think Weiner could be a great choice for this district. Let me explain. For all his faults, and there are many, Anthony Weiner is an exceptionally smart, capable, and politically moderate candidate, not by normal person standards, but by the standards of the Manhattan Democratic Party. I think he might be the most moderate candidate running. In a field filled with progressive ideologues and machine Democratic politicians, Weiner's more centrist positions could be a breath of fresh air. Even though he's running in Manhattan, his background representing parts of Queens and Brooklyn gives him a unique perspective, one that includes outer borough sensibilities often ignored in Manhattan politics. And here's something else to consider. Since his fall from grace, Weiner has spent years engaging with conservative listeners and talk show hosts right here on WABC, where he's co-hosted a show that is quite good, in my opinion. And that experience could make him more attuned to the concerns of a broader cross-section of New Yorkers, including outer borough residents and non-progressives. Is he flawed? Absolutely. But politics is rarely about choosing saints. It's about choosing who can do the job best. Weiner has a proven track record as a legislator, and frankly, I think he's far more intelligent and pragmatic than some of the other candidates we might see in this race. Now, I get it. Supporting Anthony Weiner is a hard sell for many people, and I'm not saying you should. His past is a major liability, and voters are right to ask if he deserves another chance. But if you believe in redemption, and if you care about getting things done in this city, then Weiner might just be the most qualified person for the job. The Democrats could certainly do a lot worse than Anthony Weiner. The question is, will voters give him another shot? I am absolutely intrigued to see where this goes. He's registered with the Campaign Finance Board. He hasn't officially announced that he's running, but it's looking that way.
Beam me up!
To be continued.
Impact confirmed. The Slayer has been activated.
Demonic threat level increasing.
Hold the line!
All the power of hell cowering before one man.
id Software presents Doom, The Dark Ages. Available now on Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC.
Rated M for mature.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
If you're going to make headlines in politics, make them for the right reason. Fortunately, outgoing State Senator Kevin Thomas has managed to do just the opposite. In an interview with City and State, Thomas made a claim that could end his career in elective politics permanently. According to Thomas, State Democratic Party Chair Jay Jacobs promised him something, he won't say what, in exchange for dropping out of a congressional primary earlier this year. Thomas said, and I quote, "I was approached by the party chair asking me to back off of the primary, and he offered me something instead." That's a quote. Jacobs, for his part, that's the state party chair, denies this, saying he doesn't even know what Thomas is referring to. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter. If true, this alleged arrangement might violate state election law, which prohibits any promise of employment, compensation, or other benefits in exchange for political support, or in this case, dropping out of a race. Legal experts say it's hard to prove something like this without clear evidence, and Thomas has been frustratingly vague about the details. But whether this is true or not, let's talk about the sheer stupidity of what Kevin Thomas has done here. First, if he agreed to such a deal, he's demonstrated a level of political naivete that is almost laughable. How do you not know this might be illegal? And second, why on earth would you say this publicly? Did he think admitting this would win him points for honesty? Instead, he's painted himself as someone who either doesn't understand election law or doesn't care. It's no wonder Thomas is on his way out of elective office. From what I can see, he's demonstrated that he lacks the judgment, discretion, and basic common sense required to serve effectively. Politics is a tough business. It requires navigating difficult waters without sinking your own ship. Thomas has not only failed to steer the boat, he's drilled holes in it. At a time when voter trust in politicians is already in the gutter, antics like this only deepen the cynicism. Kevin Thomas isn't just leaving a bad taste in the mouths of voters. He's providing a case study in how not to handle yourself as a public servant. The bottom line, as far as I'm concerned, whether or not Jay Jacobs made a promise, Kevin Thomas has made it abundantly clear that he's not ready for another round in politics. To put it bluntly, anyone who admits to this kind of behavior, true or not, is far too stupid to hold public office again. If he's just making the whole thing up, in some ways, it's even worse. He's essentially making a lie up to save face about dropping out of a congressional race and implicating the state Democratic Party chair. I think for Kevin Thomas, at least for now, good riddance.
Beam me up.
To be continued.
That moment when you realize your skincare is actually working. That's Rodan & Fields, the #1 female dermatologist-founded skincare brand in the U.S. Designed by 2 dermatologists who don't just know women's skin, they know how to formulate for it. Rodan & Fields, love what you see. Tap the banner or visit rodanandfields.com/Spotify to get your exclusive welcome offer.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
Let's talk about the latest chapter in Andrew Cuomo's saga. Charlotte Bennett, one of the former governor's accusers, has dropped her federal sexual harassment lawsuit against him. Now, let me be clear. I'm no fan of Andrew Cuomo, as I think you know. I've never voted for him, and I doubt I ever will. But I've always believed he got a raw deal when it came to the sexual harassment stuff, and this development adds fuel to that fire. Bennett, who worked as a staffer in Cuomo's office, accused him of inappropriate behavior, including asking invasive questions about her sex life and making suggestive comments about older men. Cuomo has always denied the allegations. The case has been mired in bitter legal battles, with Bennett's attorney, Deborah Katz, accusing Cuomo's legal team of employing aggressive tactics, including demanding personal medical records. Cuomo's lawyers, on the other hand, claim Bennett dropped her baseless lawsuit to avoid testifying under oath. So, what does this mean? It's a sign that a lot of these allegations might have been nonsense. Bennett's decision to walk away from the case after nearly 2 years of contentious litigation raises serious questions. If she had a strong case, why not see it through? This isn't the first time we've seen due process take a back seat in cases like this. Cuomo was forced out of office by a wave of allegations and a report from Attorney General Letitia James that he has vehemently criticized as biased and politically motivated. While some accusations may hold water, others seem to crumble under scrutiny. Here's Melissa DeRosa, former top aide to Governor Cuomo, speaking about this very issue last night on Katz and Cosby.
What does that say when somebody who has gone on national television, sat for interviews with the New York Times, helped take down a duly elected governor, who then turns around and sues him and a number of other people who did absolutely nothing wrong for money, cannot sit or will not sit for a deposition under oath? So it was crazy, and a lot of lawyers I speak to say it's unprecedented.
Let's remember, due process matters. It doesn't matter whether you like someone or not. Everyone deserves their day in court before they're condemned. Now, Bennett says she's still pursuing claims against the state of New York and seeking damages. Fine. Let that case play out. But this federal lawsuit's dismissal that she withdrew voluntarily underscores the dangers of rushing to judgment. Cuomo's political career may never recover, but the question remains, how much of what he faced was truly warranted? As Cuomo weighs a potential run for New York City mayor, this case's dismissal might bolster his argument that he was the target of a political takedown. I'm not saying he's blameless, but I'll say this. If you're going to accuse someone of serious misconduct, you better be ready to prove it in court, not just in the headlines. And maybe, just maybe, this case will remind all of us that the truth, no matter how inconvenient, deserves its day in court, too.
Beam me up.
To be continued.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Nicole Byer, helping you make those rooms flyer. Today's style tip: when it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild! Like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Ooh, fierce! This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.